All right, look live, Jarvis. It's playtime.
What do you want to talk about?
Wrestling! And here!
Wrestling?
Why?
It's wrestling.
It's wrestling.
Why? Why?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Why not? Why not?
It's fake.
Fake? What the hell are you talking about? Fake? It's not fake.
Fake.
Wrestling's not fake!
Okay, wrestling.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. Welcome you to this week's Wrestling Gold Friday night. Yes, Friday night, we talk about the good old days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real, because damn it, it is still real to us. Now, if you're listening to this now, help me out here. Do I always say good old days, or do I say glory days? I know I should better keep up with this, or do I sometimes mix it up? Like, few times I'll say glory, more times than not say good old days. Help me out here, folks. But anyway, yes, welcome to Wrestling Gold Friday night. Hopefully everybody had a great week. My week was okay. Man, it got cold Wednesday though. I was down in vivacious Valdosta, Georgia. If you've seen last night's Spot Show live stream, I would say so. I was most say good old days. All right, I need to write that down. One day though, I'll have that on a T-shirt. The whole line. Well, we talk about the good old days of professional wrestling, back when wrestling was wrestling and wrestling was real, because damn it, it's still real to us. I still ain't heard from Hot Spots yet, by the way. Maybe I'll see if I can ask somebody else. But anyway, yeah, I was in Valdosta. Last night's show was not that good. I had kind of rushed through it, but tonight I am home, of course, so don't have to really rush to it until, Father Time kicks in and he's like, hey, you need to eat and you need to go to bed. That's how we do it. And of course, going to have to break tradition a little bit because I have no beer. I forgot to get some. And no, I'm not trying that Modelo crap again. By the way, if anybody knows me, hears this, if you know anybody who likes Modelo beer, let me know, and I'll give them to you. And you can have it. You can give it to whoever. I don't want it. That stuff was nasty. But I forgot to grab beer. But usually I drink this in the mornings. Monster Mean Bean. And it was in the refrigerator. So I think I do need a little perk me up. It ain't gonna perk me up that much. Ain't gonna have me wired or anything. But I do like drink one every morning. But so this will be what I'm toasting with tonight. But yes, we start off every Friday night. I haven't asked him, but okay. Me and my brother have very different taste in beer. I like branch out. I mean, I think the only thing we do have in common is we both like Michelob Ultra. But other than that, okay, we both like Michelob Ultra. and I've tried one Miller Lite once, and I didn't like it either. Hold on one second. Let me. Okay. I had to take care of that right quick. But I've liked things like Killian's Red, um, of course Miller High Life. There's another beer that I like. He did not like. As Weston, it's some kind of it's a little bit of a hoity-toity German beer. Starts with a W. Yeah, Fufu beer. Um, I forgot. It's Westingmeyer or Westingstein. It's something I tried at a restaurant one time. I liked it, and it was pretty good. Actually, I wish. Oh man, I, there is this one Japanese beer, but I had it once, like 15 years ago. I was in New York, uh, and I was with a girl I was dating at the time, so it was technically her friends. Uh, I mean, I was friendly with them too, but I don't want to sit here and say my friends when I haven't talked to them in years. But anyway, so we went up there, visited, and we went to this Japanese place, and they had this, authentic Japanese brand beer, and it was good. But I can't remember the name of it. Didn't even think about it. I wasn't a friend of Rolling Rock either. I think Tony did like Rolling Rock, but to overly digress on beers and stuff like that. He doesn't like anything I like as far as beer. Uh, I've had him tried some of that Westing whatever beer. Um, gosh, there was just another beer I liked, and he didn't like it. He's a Bud Light drinker. Um, yes, he's already heard 3 years worth of jokes, and, and heck, everybody's back drinking that. Whoever did drink it before that, they're back drinking it now, so it don't freaking matter. But anyway, now I'm going to tell you right now. So, in saying everything I just said, if I don't like this one, he's definitely not going to like it. He's not going to like it at all. I can guarantee you that. Um, yeah, I tried a Rolling Rock one time, and it just didn't. I didn't vibe with that. In other words, that wasn't going to be in my refrigerator anytime soon. Heineken, I tried once, but I was already drunk when I had one, and I haven't had a Heineken again. Um, seems like there's this other one, but yeah, that's about it. Um, but I forgot to grab any because in the back of my mind I was about to get some whiskey, but I just even though I went to the Publix right next to a liquor store and didn't walk in and get it, I totally just forgot. But so anyway, breaking from tradition. So yeah, still share with me in the chat. By the way, yes, I am live and in living color. So join me in the chat, just like Joe King here did. And like I said, we bullshit about wrestling. Can I say bullshit? We we shoot the bull about wrestling. Then probably start talking about other things out of the blue, like we just did there. So yeah, join me in the chat. Give me your opinions on anything or share some memories. This is Wrestling Gold Friday night. I would talk about the good old days. Back when wrestling was real, because damn it, it still real is. I kind of mumbled through that. Man, why is it every time I start a live, even when I start this shooting a video, my phone would like go off. Everybody wants to talk then. Everybody wants to talk when I'm I'm trying to if you're hearing this, I'm trying to be a star right now. I can't talk. I'm already talking. So watch this and listen to what I'm talking about, then we'll talk later. But so anyway, that's the reason I'm doing the Monster Mean Bean. Share with everybody what you're drinking this evening. I forgot to shake it up. But yeah, share what you're drinking tonight, and cheers to all those hardworking men and women who uh, dug in and put up with the grind all week, and the ones who are uh, putting up with the grind during the weekend. We salute you. Uh, Nothing but love for you. So cheers. By the way, yes, energy drinks are like yoo-hoos. You gotta chug it. Well, it's kind of like a beer too, but obviously, uh, I chug a little bit, but yes, Diet Mountain Dew. I also got water. But yeah, I was thinking about getting whiskey. Had it back in my mind all day long. Even stopped at a Publix because I had to get some noodles and sauce for spaghetti tonight, and that's my tradition too. Y'all don't get to see that tradition. We've already had this discussion about nobody wants to see me eating while I'm talking about wrestling. Maybe some other time. Maybe maybe one time if I ever do a live stream during a live watch along with a pay per view. Because I was thinking about doing that at the Royal Rumble, but I didn't. Well, see, you're supposed to drink those the what was it, the full throttle with the whatever you drank that one time. Then we had to put the camera on you, let you talk, because you will not shut up. Oh, sorry, inside joke, folks. But yes, so yeah, um, where was I going with that? But yes, so we done talk about beer. Done say cheers to everybody. My phone, god dang. But yeah, oh god, ooh, ooh. I'm not a Jägermeister drinker either. That stuff, it literally tastes like or cough syrup. And I even as a kid, I didn't like cough syrup. So, oh, Red Bull, Red Bull. Yeah, I knew it's like some kind. I knew it went Monster. I knew, but I thought it was like Full Throttle or one of the other brands. Red Bull. It gives you wings. It don't really, people. But anyway, let's get back to the subject at hand. Talk about some wrestling. Maybe come back to talk about drinks later. Um, and yes, I will go ahead and apologize about last night. I had to rush through it. I didn't see any of the chats. Joe King here was talking about the video game, well, which I might talk about later on tonight. But depends on if Father Time checks in and says, "Hey, you're hungry, you're tired, time to quit playing, go fix something to eat, and go take your old ass to bed." But anyway, we start off every wrestling goal Friday night. I was about to say wrestling trivia Tuesday. And usually on Tuesdays, I'd say Wrestling Gold Friday night. And at least that's recorded. And when I catch myself saying it, I can stop it, delete it, and do it again. But anyway, we start off with the history today in wrestling history. Today is, of course, February 6th. And on this day in 1973, let me get all the, there we go. On this date in 1973, that might be next Thursday. I didn't even know that. I ain't seen anything said about that. Okay, this camera, dumbass. But yeah, I didn't see anything about the Pro Wrestling Illustrated. Maybe next week. When you get it, let me know because I have no idea who won what and did anything or anything. But anyway, but yeah, that's usually a Thursday. Okay. But yeah, that's usually like a Thursday conversation. That's new shit. We're talking about old shit today. New shit Thursday, old shit on Fridays. Anyway, on this date in 1973, Buddy Colt regains the Southern title from Mark Lewin. Of course, this is the Championship Wrestling from Florida. Their top title was the Southern title. So this was the Florida version of the Southern title. On this date in 1976, New Japan Pro Wrestling in Tokyo, Japan at the Budokan Hall, drawing 12,700 people, seeing Seiji Sakaguchi defeat Tiger GC by disqualification. Real World Martial Arts Champion Antonio Inoki defeated William Ruska in a wrestler versus judo match. So yes, he took on a judo expert, competitive judo fighter. Now, was it 76 where? Was it 76 where he took on Muhammad Ali, wrestler versus boxer? And that might come up later, so we'll talk about it when we get there. Also on this date, 1976, the Spoiler regains the NWA Georgia title from Dusty Rhodes in Atlanta at the Municipal Auditorium. Man, I bet you this was a hell of a match. Like I said last week, gotta check out some Spoiler stuff. Gotta see if I can find some Spoiler stuff. Maybe a show somewhere. Let's see, scroll down a little bit so I can read this shiznit. On this date in 1977, Holly Race defeats Terry Funk and Toronto, Canada to win the NWA World Heavyweight Championship. This will be his second time winning it, and he won it by. Does anybody know what move he used? Or hold? Anybody? Bueller? Or anybody? Give up? This actually was a Wrestling Trivia Tuesday question at one time, so. Nutshot. No, this is back in 1977. They would get disqualified, actually, for doing nut shots. It wasn't a popular thing at the time. Actually, it was the Indian. Oh, crap. Now I'm doubting myself. It was the Indian Deathlock. The Indian Deathlock. That's what he used to capture the NWA Championship for the second time. Yes, Terry Funk submitted, conceded. They didn't do tap outs back then. You had to tell the referee, like, yep, I'm done for today, brother. ring that bell. This shit hurts. Speaking of Terry Funk. Now, he won his first world title. Harley Race won his first world title using this standard vertical suplex. All right, on this date in 1981, Dick Slater, Terry Funk, and Tully Blanchard are injured in a car accident in Houston, Texas. Slater is reported to be the worst injured, but is wrestling again in about a week. Dick Slater was a bad SOB, from what I heard. Terry Funk does miss at least one match with a leg injury sustained in the car accident, but I wonder if anybody knows a little bit more about me, or about me, more than me about this situation. I think this was the car accident Dick Slater was in that kind of messed him up. Like I think they said he had some head injuries. I mean, he was already crazy, but supposedly, see, I'm trying to give myself a way out here. In case I do run a Dick Slater in the afterlife, because like I said, I heard he was legit badass. Like, I mean, you got Haku number one. I think Dick Slater's got to be at least in that top 10. The top 10 of everybody, or at least top 5 of everybody else, from what I've heard. I don't know, didn't see it, but yeah. Supposedly this was the car accident where he had some head injuries. They did not know how to treat concussions at that time. It says, "Oh, you got your bell wrong," so and just threw people back out there. On this date in 1984, Ivan Markov is born. He's a Russian professional wrestler. Let's see. Trying to think where else I think he just does independent stuff. I don't think anybody's really signed him yet. Probably at this rate, probably never will. On this date in 1988, WWF had 2 shows on the same day, one at the Boston Garden in Boston, Massachusetts, and one at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Both times, Ted DiBiase came to the ring wearing the WWF World Title belt and was introduced as the new champion. Why would anybody do that? Why would they do that? Well, few nights earlier, they had the main event where they seen it was like a Friday primetime special on NBC. Had a WrestleMania rematch, or WrestleMania 3 rematch between Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. It looked like Andre might have won, even though Hogan got his shoulder up, and they had the two. It's really not that confusing, people. So, of course, we all know now there's Dave and Earl Hebner. They're twin brothers. This is when I think Dave came in, or Earl. Anyway, which one worked for Crockett, one worked for Vince. So they got the other one to come in and point at each other and say, "No, I'm referee Hebner. He's not referee Hebner. I'm the official WWF referee Hebner." So you had that going on. Then you had the part where Andre had given Ted DiBiase the belt. And I think that was a promise here. You know, Ted DiBiase basically, Andre won it, but bought it from Andre. And that was the storyline going into. That's the reason the belt became vacant, and they had a tournament at WrestleMania 4. They did the same angle, not Andre, Hogan, and DiBiase, of course, but they did it in Georgia. But basically, it was Tim Brooks, Larry Zbyszko, Tim Brooks. I forgot who he beat. If anybody remembers, hit me up in the chats. I think it was Brett Sawyer though. I think Killer Tim Brooks defeated Brett Sawyer for the national championship. Then Larry Zbyszko, storyline wise, I think it was $25,000 to purchase the belt from Killer Tim Brooks, and I think they wound up having a tournament too, and Larry Zbyszko wound up winning it. So this was in Georgia Championship Wrestling 82, 83, I think, somewhere around there. But so yeah, that's kind of where it came from. But yeah, they wound up having a big tournament, WrestleMania for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, and of course everybody knows Randy Savage won it. All right. On this date in 1990, NWA WCW presented Clash of the Champions 10 in Corpus Christi, Texas Memorial Coliseum, drawing 3,000 people. Wow. Shown live on TBS, of course. Dr. Death Steve Williams defeated the Samoan Savage, who is also known as the Tonga Kid, and Tama, one of the Islanders with Haku. Brian Pillman and Tom Zink defeated the Mod Squad, Spike and Basher. Go ahead and repeat this again. I know I think I mentioned this before, that the Mod Squad were actually brothers. If you read Mick Foley's book, he does talk about this match. This is this match with Mil Mascaras. He did defeat Cactus Jack. I think he kind of complained because Mascaras didn't really want to do anything. He sure said I wasn't going to do a job. I think that's in a lot of the shooter interviews I watched and things that mentioned Mills Mascaras. A few people said that, yeah, he's not one to take anything, and he's not too fond of coming in, making an appearance, and doing a job. Norman, Mike Shaw, Bastion Booger, or however you want to call him, defeated Kevin Sullivan in a Falls Count Anywhere match. The Skyscrapers, the new Skyscrapers, Mark Callis and Danny Spivey defeated the Road Warriors by disqualification. The NWA World Tag Team Champions Rick and Scott, the Steiner Brothers, defeated Doom in a towel versus mask match. Of course, Doom unmasked, and to no one's surprise, it was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. If you did watch Doom as a tag team in the mask, you can kind of tell, especially their builds and the way they wrestled. You know, it was Ron Simmons and Butch Reed. Of course, if you ask the Wrestling Observer, whatever, I think they said, oh, they were the only two African Americans on contract. I'm like, let's see, 1990, I was 14. I didn't know people have fucking contracts. I'm just happy that I guessed who it was. Jackass. Earlier on this night, we had a segment where the Four Horsemen at the time, consisted of Ric Flair, Ole and Arn Anderson, and Sting. They announced at the next pay-per-view that Sting was going to get a world title shot against Ric Flair, and they kind of hee-hawed around about it. So, oh yeah, keep it in the family. Well, you know what? The other three horsemen, the original horsemen, they had a different agenda. They had a different idea. They said Sting told Sting that, hey, cancel the match, get out. We're doing this for your own good, kid. Then they wind up attacking Sting, kicking him out of the Horsemen. So that officially turned Ric Flair, Ole and Arn Anderson heel again. Then later that night, they had their blow-off match against the JTEX Corporation. At this time, consisted of the Dragon Master, Buzz Sawyer, and the Great Muta. They wound up defeating them in a steel cage match. Later, or after the cage match, Sting came down, wanted to fight some more. He was in a fight mood, trying to climb up on the cage and legitimately hurting his knee. I don't know if I think he even said it that he felt somebody kind of pull on his leg, and when he pulled, he pretty much heard it go snap, crackle, pop. So yeah, we watched live of Sting getting his knee injured. That put him on the pay-per-view because story goes that at that pay-per-view, I think it was Wrestle War or something like that. He was going to be world champion at that event, but it changed. They was basically going to push Sting as their top guy and be the face of the company, which he eventually became. But things did change, unfortunately. They had to put it off for a bit while he got reconstructed or got knee surgery done, rehabilitated it, and I think it was Bash 91 is where he finally defeated Ric Flair in Baltimore for the NWA World Title. But they had to do some shifting around. They turned Lex Luger babyface and had him Luger face Flair, but they didn't. They decided not to put the title on Luger at that time because that kind of they was building up Sting, so they wanted to kind of go with that. They didn't want to Flair to drop it to Luger just for Flair to get it back, and what they call it, the bloom was off the rose or something like that, or however you describe it. It kind of would not meant as much when Sting would beat him, so they kept the belt on Flair until Sting was better. Then better storyline of Sting coming back and finally getting his revenge on Flair, defeating Flair. Then Sting did the whole Black Scorpion thing. Ridiculous. All right. On this date in 1995, Jerry the King Lawler pinned Sid Vicious in a no disqualification match to win the USWA Unified World Championship. Also on this date in 1995, excuse me, Smoky Mountain Wrestling at the Lanier, North Carolina, Mulberry Street Recreation Center, drawing 375 people for a television taping. Boo Bradley defeated the Wolfman on that same taping. This was for he defeated Wolfman for the vacant Beat the Champ TV title. Later on the same taping, Billy Black wound up defeating Boo Bradley to win the Smoky Mountain Wrestling Beat the Champ TV title. Billy Black, he was first time I seen him was in Georgia, wrestling like Georgia All Stars, Southern Championship Wrestling for Georgia. Him and Joel Deaton, who used to be Thunderfoot, made a pretty good tag team. They had a couple of tours in Japan. Not sure why it didn't quite work out for Billy Black. He was body wise, he really didn't have to look, but for the guy his size, he was able to do backflips, and he actually did the handspring elbow like Great Muta did. So he was able to do that. But yeah, him and Joe Deaton was actually a pretty good tag team. He was pretty good as well. I think he trained a couple people, but I can't think off the top of my head who. Um, see if I let me see if I can look it up right quick. But it seems like he did train a couple people. Okay, he don't have an actually. Da, 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 da. Good Lord. Oh, so yeah, him and Joel Deaton was in All Japan. They were actually one time All Asian Tag Team Champions. Lordy mercy me. But it seems like he did train somebody, but can't think of who. But oh well. But I mean, at that time he was pretty good. Like I said, definitely wasn't a body guy. Uh, just average kind of build, whatever. Uh, but he was pretty decent. And that concludes today in wrestling history. Class dismissed. Any questions? Any shareth of the memories? Let's see here. Take a little drink here. Yeah, I swear. But see, I need a bigger desk. I actually need a whole room. I'll say that again. Anyways, anybody ready for a nice little watch along? This week we are featuring Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I was going to uh, do a WWF Superstars that highlighted the whole situation, but I was like, we just did WWF what 2 3 weeks ago, so I was like, nah, we'll uh we'll skip on that and do something else. You ready? I'm about to be ready. But before we go to the watch along, let's take a commercial break. So I'll be back after this message. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Ronald Ray here, your boy with a cornbread accent. If you made it this far in the video, you're having fun. You folks know what to do. Everybody says this, so let's go through the whole routine. If you enjoy it, click on that like button. Also, leave me a comment. Give me your opinions on anything I talk about tonight. Ask questions, or just drop a friendly hello. That's always cool as well. Also, if you enjoy listening to a fan, just like you folks at home, talk about the sport of professional wrestling, be a champ, click on that subscribe button. Now, back to our program. So, yep. There we go. That camera asshole. So, yes, it is a Smoky Mountain Wrestling this week. Aren't you people so glad that I got a little lazy and just recorded a whole spiel about the whole like, share, comment, subscribe instead of me repeating it or just going right into the show. Just in between, maybe a couple segments here and there, I'll play the commercial, then get right back in it. That was a nifty idea. What do you folks think? That was a nifty idea. Anyway, let's check out some Smoky Mountain Wrestling. If you're ready, I'll do a countdown. And before I do that, let me share the da 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 da. Oh, wrong button. Right button. Let's see how. Da, 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 da. Inspector Gadget, Gadget. Da, 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 da. Woohoo! Inspector Gadget, Gadget. Go, Gadget, go. Yes, folks, I am that old. I am so old. I remember Inspector Gadget being a cartoon. Anyway, let me just copy the link here. Share the link in the chat here. Good gosh. And here we go. Now here we go with the countdown. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play now. Oh, Jim Ross and Les Thatcher doing some commentary here. I thought Les Thatcher was a okay commentator. Of course, this is Jim Ross still, in my opinion, his prime. He had his WCW run, WrestleMania 9. Then I think they let him go or get fired, and he wound up in Smoky Mountain being their commentator. Then shortly after that, came back to WWF. Oh, Tommy Pittner. Yes, that is Brian Anderson. He is the son of Ole Anderson, legit son of Ole Anderson. I just said that, Jim Ross. Wow. Did he just take a dig at WCW? Saying Ole Anderson's in the WCW Hall of Fame for whatever that's worth? Yep, Brian Hildebrand, or professionally known as Mark Curtis. He would actually become a WCW referee after the Mountain Wrestling shut down. So that was a little bit of a because if you remember watching the Ole and Arn Anderson, if you're in my age bracket, maybe seen some tapes of Ole and Gene. Uh, one of their centers moves was this one right here where never mind, he didn't do it this time either. It was hammerlock into a body slam. So that was a little modification of what his dad did. He seemed pretty technically sound, I'm not sure why he didn't catch on anywhere. Yeah, bet he had a fun childhood. Uh, I, Now I think legitimately, one of the reasons Ole decided to be a kind of a part-time person, when they did the angle where Ole got kicked out and the Horseman and everything, because he wanted to go see his son wrestle in high school and I think college as well. But yeah, kind of, and just seeing that match right there, he looked like he was technically sound. He wasn't. I mean, like I say, he was wrestling kind of like his dad would. Uh, Nothing too fancy or anything like that, but like I said, pretty technically sound. So it could have been one of those deals. Is like, eh, I hate to put him in the same category as Eric Watts, but one of the reasons nobody really wanted to give Eric Watts a chance because a lot of people did not like Bill Watts, Eric Watts' dad. I'm not sure if this is the same situation where a lot of people did not like Ole, so therefore they were not going to give his son a shot, which is pretty sad. Oh, watch out, Mark. Oh, Buddy Landale. But, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I could see Ole being a little harsh to his kid. Um, I don't think he'd probably talk to him like he would do other wrestlers. Uh, I'm pretty sure, when he was helping him do his math homework, he didn't say, "You dumb shit, you dumb shit. You know better than that. You know 2 times 2 is 4." You know, I mean, they had that same flamboyant persona as far as wrestling, and obviously, both were their own worst enemy. I mean, unfortunately, uh, Geno's led to his passing, of OD. Um, but I said this, I think I said it a few weeks ago, as just part of this conversation. And I know I said in like a social media post comment that Matt Riddle is probably uh, this generation's Buddy Landell. Matt Riddle good look. I mean, good look, gym, legit. You know, did the UFC thing, star potential, but he had habits that pretty much ruined his career. And we've talked about Buddy Landell at a lot of times, you know, where he was supposed to win the world title, but decided to drive from Charlotte to Atlanta and snort cocaine at the same time and missed the whole taping and got fired. But it's kind of like Matt Riddle, you know, his drug habit got him fired from WWE. Like I said, Matt Riddle, huge star potential, but so this is Jerry Lawler here. He's in the WWF, of course, and still in USWA. They they had a little Smoky Mountain Wrestling USWA feud. But anyway, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like Flair, Gino, and Buddy Landell that had that Buddy Rogers influenced um, movement, strut, persona that my crap don't stink heel. I look good. I wear suits. I drive the finest cars. I nailed the hottest women. I mean, that was Ric Flair's persona, Gino's, and Buddy Landell's. I mean, Buddy Landell called himself the Nature Boy as well. So, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But look at Gino and Buddy's movements, Ric Flair's movements as well. God. But if you, yeah, go back and watch like Buddy Rogers' movement. They all got that same kind of movement, and so I think it's just part of their personas. I mean, the movement is part of their gimmick. I mean, even with the how they kick is the same. Their punches are all the same. Seriously, how good was Buddy? I mean, just straight to the point. I mean, didn't stutter. Looked at the camera. You and it was Buddy Landell being Buddy Landell. Wasn't scripted. I'm pretty sure he probably sat in the back a little bit and kind of thought about what he's going to say. Then just came out and said it. I mean, that's
Have you ever seen anything more explosive than the Gangsta's Heavenly Body situation in tag team wrestling? Talking about bombs, that would be an atomic one, Jim. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hear some very strong comments from Jim Cornette and the Heavenly Bodies, but first let us take you once again back to Super Saturday Night Fever in Knoxville. This is one tag team matchup that you will never forget. New Jack is worn down. I don't believe he can get enough steam behind those suplexes on Jimmy Del Rey to keep him down. Makes the tag now. Moving Mustafa in. Tommy Pritchard moving wild. Is caught with a headbutt in the groin. Del Rey trying to get up and coming up extremely slow. Pritchard hurt. And again, New Jack and Mustafa double up on Jimmy
so.
Del
Yeah,
Rey.
this is a time where um,
Once again,
gotta remember here the most hated tag team for the majority of the time that Smoky Mountain was around was the Heavenly Bodies with Jim Cornette, and that's until the Gangsters came in.
and Tommy Pritchard.
And hell, I remember the New Jack when he wrestled for I don't think it was called. I think it was called North Georgia Wrestling Alliance at the time. I think it was at wherever the third or fourth one was after Southern Championship Wrestling from Georgia, Georgia All Star. Basically, it was in the auction barn in Alpharetta, Georgia. Um, yeah, if anybody has been in Alpharetta, Georgia, in the last, I guess, 20 years, 30 years, and think, oh, they had an auction barn in Alpharetta. They have Porsche and Tesla dealerships now, and $1 million homes, and that's a low end subdivision. But I digress. I'm just kidding. I think the low end, subdivision in Alpharetta is probably a $500,000 house. Oh, we got a table. Jimmy, get the table. I heard Jimmy Del Rey was kind of an asshole, a jerk. I think even Tom Pritchard said he just kind of tolerated him. Didn't really hang out with him beyond, beyond the shows. Oh, D'Lo Brown. Oh yeah, Jared Lawler was just like I said. This is when he's been in in the WWF. So you got to remember ECW was around at this time. Smoky Mountain was formed first, I think. Or Eastern Championship Wrestling might have been around, and it was just kind of still breaking ground. Not really established himself as being the Extreme Championship Wrestling. That was still Eastern Championship Wrestling under the booking of or not Jerry Lawler, but Eddie Gilbert. Eddie Gilbert was pretty much done. I think 95 is when 93, 94, 95 maybe is when ECW is really getting going and becoming that revolution in professional the revolution of professional wrestling, or definitely became revolutionary. So okay, so the still Eastern in '93. Trying to think when did they come. Yeah, it had to be like towards the end of '93, '94. I was in high school. I read about in the magazine where Shane Douglas threw down the NWA World Title. Yeah, because we didn't get ECW down here, Eastern Championship Wrestling. I mean, even '93, you started hearing that buzz because you heard about Sabu and I think Public Enemy was there at that time. But the big buzz was Sabu. I mean, just about every magazine, every month, if you heard anything about ECW during that time, it's when there was. It usually was about Sabu. Shane Douglas a little bit because Shane Douglas has been kind of a pretty boy babyface in UWF, Cottonelle, WCW, Cup of Coffee, and WWF at the time. But then he came to ECW, became a franchise, became a heel, their top heel, top champion. Yeah, I know. Yeah, Smoky Mountain started in '91. I just can't remember when EC the ECW start okay, Eastern Championship Wrestling started probably around the same time, at least 91, 92, maybe 90. But as far as then become like ECW, like becoming like uh basically having a name for themselves, like uh the true alternative to WWF and WCW. All right, and you guys, and that's when we started, Ada Gilbert was booking. Because I want to say like '93. So yeah, it's 94 when Shane Douglas threw down the belt and proclaimed it. Stop using Eastern Championship Wrestling. That sound territorial because they were part of the NWA. Obviously, that's the reason they had the tournament there. And but yeah, like I said, even when it was still Eastern Championship Wrestling, um, they were still. I mean, they were still getting publicity, especially in the magazine stuff like that. And like I said, it had a lot to do with Sabu, whoever Sabu was wrestling at the time. Shane Douglas. Then like I said, when they dropped the Eastern part and this kept ECW, but uh, renamed it to Extreme Championship Wrestling, broke away from the NWA, and of course, Paul Lee was booking that, a little before that. So yeah, Paul was a booker and became booker in '93. Oh, Bullet Bob. And obviously, this is before Tracy Smothers became a full-blooded Italian. And yes, that is super kick Scott Armstrong. And believe it or not, he's the older brother. And of course, he became WCW and WWF referee.
So we see the videotape, and what's that going to cost them? That's going to cost the gangsters $1,500 a piece, and also Mr. Belo is going to have to pay $1,500 himself. We're going to get the whole group while we're getting it. Maybe they'll learn a lesson if we teach them all, and maybe they'll settle some things around here and keep the fighting inside the ring where it's
Uh oh. Uh oh. They're about. Forget they messing with Bullet Bob, baby. Bullet Bob will throw down. Scotty McKeever. Can't, no, he had a big time Hall of Fame career. He is a 20-time All American and the Kentucky elementary school and kickball. An athletic specimen is McKeever. Was gonna go pro, be a pro kickball player, but he kind of injury kind of sidelined him that, and he was a wrestling fan, and so he became a wrestler. I think it was that man the best McKeever match. It was him versus Bill Monkey, the 1 hour or excuse me, the 1 minute Iron Man match. It had to go in overtime, so they went 5 whole minutes. Yeah, that was a classic. The building was sold out to the rafters. Standing room only. They had the fans were standing the whole time. And that match was the match that actually started the "This is awesome" chant. But right now he's going against Buddy Landell. Of course, he's using those dirty yeah, but yeah, you're definitely right about the movement. You know,
He's trying to impress you. Well, I guess so. Boy, Landell, I tell you something. When those two guys step in the ring in this big doubleheader weekend, and we talked about the defense coming to Johnson City on Saturday, February 25th, and then the next afternoon.
see that's what. Yeah, unfortunately, McCaver got suckered into the that corkscrew elbow. I mean, he's really out here, but I mean, but put him in a figure four. Uh, and of course, you know, McCaver at the time had the torn ACL, CLL, AWA, CBS, the vertebrae in the ankle, uh, the this the blister on his pinky toe, and the ulcer in his fibula. So he all those injuries combined. I mean, he had no choice but to give it up to the figure four, especially at that devastating corkscrew elbow. That's Ricky Gibson, Robert Gibson's brother. $29.95. And that's how a lot of these promotions like Smoky Mountain and ECW made money is the tape trading or the tape sales. There he is, the Wolfman. Not could be confused with the referee in Georgia named the Wolfman, but this is the wrestler, the Wolfman. Boo Bradley, of course, he's probably more famous than being Balls Mahoney. And they're doing their tribute to Sabu right now, pointing up the sky. And the Wolfman with a cheap shot there. Boo ain't gonna take that crap any much longer. This is where Boo turns into balls and starts with the fisticuffs and
Smoky Mountain needs a staff psychiatrist. It's starting at the top and working its way right on down. Plenty of us could use a little couch time. What's he doing now? He's got what? Teddy. Oh, he's got a teddy bear. Teddy bear. Well, it wasn't too artistic, but it's pretty darn effective. Wait a minute, the bag lady's back. Oh, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the match, Boo Bradley.
probably not the best looking elbow from the second rope ever, but it did the job. It's Tammy Cinch. It's Sunny. And there's another guy who had tons of talent, Chris Candido. Ah, yes. The Unabomb. Now, I, by God, yes, by God, it's Kane. That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. There, there's a legend right there too with him, Eddie Gilbert. Now, Kiss, uh, the Kiss album, Revenge. Man, that CD, that well album, whatever you want to call it, freaking rocked. Unholy, Domino. Yep. But you know the humongous thing's been done millions of times. He took the mask off, and now I think Robert is legit like 6 foot, 6'1", six maybe. And look how freaking Unabomb Kane freaking just towers over him. And yes, it is 1995. In case you was wondering, yes, the mullet was still the choice hairstyle of wrestlers in '95. Yeah, so yeah, after WWE or Smoky Mountain, he went into the WWF, became Dr. Isaac Yankem, DDS. He was the wrestling dentist before Britt Baker. Of course, I don't think he was really a dentist. Then became oh yeah, you just said it, fake Diesel. And we're out of time, folks. Yes, that's back when they would have a TV main event, then don't have a finish to it. But that was kind of a ploy to get you tuned back in the next week to see what happened in the main event. Pretty decent show there. Not anything to. Oh yeah, I mean, God, that one was hilarious. And so you got to think, even though you did have Smoky Mountain, ECW, WCW, and WWF. It was good to have a Smoky. You kind of wish a Smoky Mountain would have been a little bigger. You know, ECW was gaining track, but you know they did get bigger, sort of, than Crash Down. Um, and this is why you need uh, a variety. Not for main reason, have a place where all this talent can work at. I mean, Al Snow was a hell of a talent. I mean, we just talk about talents here. You had a Buddy Landell, you had Robert Gibson, Al Snow was has some name behind him, but he was kind of not discovered quite yet. As far as I mean, definitely not WWF or WCW. But I think Smoky Mountain helped him launch his career, people see him, hey, cut promos and work in the ring. It's like, damn, this dude's freaking good. Um, Chris Candido, I mean, he was a hell of a talent. Uh, Balls became decent, but then again, I mean, he was one of those wrestlers at ECW that just told, kind of like the gangsters. Gangsters were actually pretty decent. I wouldn't say they would give you 5-star matches, but they would kind of, even in Georgia, when they were in Georgia, then Smoky Mountain, they had to actually wrestle, then do the brawling style of wrestling. Um, but then, once they got into ECW, it was all about weapons and things of that sort. Yeah, but I mean, that's what I was about to say. Balls became more reliant on the chairs, the tables, the weapons and stuff like that. The chair swinging freaks. Yeah, but and of course when Smoky Mountain got shut down, we already went through the history of Unibob, who became Dr. Isaac Yankem, then Fake Diesel, then eventually Kane. Uh, Tracy Smothers, who was a talented as well, became Freddie Joe Floyd. Then went to ECW, became a full-blooded Italian. Um, I mean, it was funny, I guess, but Dirty White Boy Tony Anthony became a plumber. TL Hopper. I'm like, why, people? Why? Which I mean, this was again. I mean, WWF wasn't doing that great as well at the time because of the Ring Boy and the steroid scandal. All of wrestling's kind of down at this point because, yeah, like I said, WWF was the above and beyond top product, and once they hit those scandals, it affected everything. It affected all of wrestling. I mean, maybe if Smoky Mountain could have hung on like a couple more years, um, and start drawing some good houses and getting good publicity as well, that it could have been like a Mountain and Extreme Championship Wrestling, just kind of battling who's going to be number 3, or eventually became, because they hadn't thought about it yet, but that could have been, which was discussed discussed this before. I think in '93, I guess, 92, 93. You had who was I going to say? You had Bill Watts, who was executive vice president at the time of WCW. He was wanting to make Smoky Mountain Wrestling a developmental territory, or do a talent exchange and stuff like that. It kind of helped them out, be like a little feeder system for them. Might have been '93 because that's when Paul Orndorff was there, and Paul Orndorff wound up getting a job at WCW that he held on till WCW closed. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, exactly. For every Undertaker, Kane, Yoko, they had a Hopper, a Booger, and a Goon. Yeah, Wild Bill Irwin came in. He was from Minnesota, so I guess they can't, say, "Oh, you're gonna be a hockey goon. You're gonna be a hockey player." And I know Bill don't get talked about as much as his brother, Scott Irwin. But Bill Irwin was pretty good. He was throwing bro kicks before bro kicks were a thing. Yeah, Bill Irwin was pretty good. But they were still trying to be that family friendly, cartoony, and unfortunately, instead of WCW really trying to be an alternative to that, they kind of started being a little cartoony themselves. Yes, part of Devastation Incorporated, former UWF Tag Team Champion with Eli the Eliminator. He spent some time in WCW, but I think they kind of used him more as an enhancement. Then went back to Texas, wrestling global, team with Black Bart. Gosh, I remember that. Imagine this: Wild Bill Irwin and Black Bart, baby faces, in a feud with Rob Price and John Tatum, the California Connection. Eh, I hate to be one of these people who say, "Oh, this is something that couldn't happen today," but yeah, they couldn't do this angle today where they were kind of like trying to out them as being gay and kind of making fun of them for being gay or acting gay. But what didn't they call themselves the Wild Bunch as well? Bill Irwin and but yeah, Bill Irwin and Black Bart with the baby faces in that feud against Rob Price and John Tatum. I do remember that. Um, and this is before it became the Goon. Let's see what else happened at that time. Of course, Global was the where everybody's seen Booker T and Stevie Ray, the Ebony Experience before they became Kent and Cole, the Harlem Heat. Then I'm glad they dropped the uh, Cole and Kent, wherever the names were, to back to Stevie Ray and Booker T. I thought it was kind of funny. Scott Hall going, "Yeah, here comes the Harlem Heat from Dallas, the Harlem Heat from Houston, Texas." But Harlem Heat was a hell of a tag team. And like I said, I remember them when it was called the Ebony Experience and Global, and I see them pop up in WCW as Harlem Heat. Yeah, Lightning Kid came from Global. Now, if you want to see some good junior, like revolutionary type matches, that's Lightning Kid and Jerry Lynn when they was feuding over the Global Light Heavyweight Championship. Those were some good matches. And of course, Lightning Kid, he became part of the Click. Came in as a kid, then the 1-2-3 Kid. Got a little bit of push, getting that upset win from. But yeah, I remember those matches being and Lightning Kid, 1, 2, 3 Kid, X Pac. He was this one. Good, dude was a good wrestler, but there's something about him just annoyed the shit out of me. Kind of like a young buck almost. Yeah, he's good in the ring and all that, but it's like, God, you can't help yourself but not like him. You always cheered against him, even when he was a babyface, and DX and all, or even when he was a 1, 2, 3 Kid. It's like, gosh, dude, you're just annoying. He just looks like somebody if you hung out with him would be, especially at that time, just be really freaking annoying. But Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, and Shawn Michaels and Triple H put up with him. One of their buddies. Somebody has to drive, right? But yeah, I do. If you're watching this, folks, watch those Jerry Lynn Lightning Kid matches. Those were really good, really, really good. Then, unfortunately, I guess money started drying up. I guess, and they could keep the guys who were actually good. Had to go back to old reliables like Chris Adams and I think Michael Hayes came back in that area with Jimmy Garvin and Terry Gordy. I think Michael had done kind of retired at the time. I think he had a back injury, and that was a little before he became Doc Hendricks in WWF. God, that's another thing I remember. Good gosh, I was like, holy shit, that can't be. I remember, think it was Vince McMahon he was doing commentary with. It's like, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our new broadcaster doing some commentary with us, Doc Hendricks. And he turned around. I'm like, is that? No, it can't. And he started talking. I'm like, that can't be. That can't be. Say it ain't so. Shaved the beard, had the mustache, cut the hair. And now go watch it. He almost did that like an old man David Lee Roth. I mean, you know how David Lee Roth was kind of that time has kind of passed him by, and when he did interviews and with especially during the Van Halen reunion the reunion with Van Halen with David Lee Roth, it was just so flamboyantly annoying, and that's how Doc Hendricks came across. I'm like, or you know, really Michael Hayes, but Doc Hendricks. I'm like, oh gosh. But I think the WWF magazine, I think, did like an article saying, oh yeah, he went from Michael Hayes to Doc Hendricks. Kind of pulled the curtain back a little bit. Show pictures of him getting his hair cut and a shave and all that. And now Michael Hayes still has a job in WWF as one of their creative people. Hall of Famer, deserving. I mean, Freebirds were awesome. Michael Hayes, Buddy Roberts, Terry Gordy. And I mean, people kind of like Jimmy Garvin. He was, if they were in the same territory, whether it be world class, AWA, or whatever. He was kind of like an honorary Freebird or something like that. And it just became official when uh, during that last little run there, Michael Hayes needed a tag team partner. Buddy Rogers retired. Terry Gordy came around a little bit, but that Japan money was just too good to not keep going after. So that was definitely understandable. And plus, I think Terry was all Japan with. Yeah, I think he was all Japan with Steve Williams. No, they did New Japan. I think they. Well, here we go. Yeah. Okay. That might. Yeah. I thought they might both promotions at one, or at least done. So yeah, they're he was all Japan guy, a Baba guy. But they worked with both of them. WCW did to a point, I guess. Time it gonna be. So yes, yeah, Terry Gordy and Jimmy Garvin was a one-time GWF Tag Team Champion. Anyways, let's see what else we can yap about for a few minutes here. But anything interesting anybody wants to maybe watch or tune into or do a watch along of next week? I guess I can run down and see what kind of went on that. I guess next week be the 13th. Oh, next week's Friday the 13th. You know what that means? Yes, I'll be watching a Friday the 13th movie. I think I'm. Let's see. Uh, yeah, I just realized next week's gonna be Friday the 13th. Yeah, after this, I'll be watching a Friday 13th movie. I think I've gone full circle. No, wait a minute. The last Friday 13th, I did watch 8. Ugh. I really don't do. Put it to you this way, I'd rather watch Jason Goes to Hell than Jason Takes Man. I just didn't something about Jason Takes Manhattan. I just don't like. It had a couple of good kills, yeah, but but nothing like well, except for the when he did an uppercut with that one kid and it took his head off literally. Uh, so yeah, I think so. I'm up to 8, so I guess I'll be at watching Jason Goes to Hell and probably Jason X if I have time before midnight next Friday. Well, no, yeah, yeah. If I start it before midnight, that should be okay. So maybe that's what. Maybe yeah. Let's see if I I'll see if I can do that. See if I can pull up some Mid South with I mean, even though the gimmick is kind of based on Mad Max the Road Warrior, he did wear a hockey mask, so maybe we'll see if I can pull up some Mid South with Humongous on there. Yeah, it did suck, but it's still more watchable than Jason Goes to Hell or Jason Takes Man. I just had this disdain. I can't explain it. This just disdain hate for Jason Goes to Hell or Jason Takes Manhattan. Excuse me. I have a disdain hate for Jason Takes Manhattan to the point where I find Jason Goes to Hell more watchable. And Jason X was just kind of, I know it sounds strange, saying a horror movie is a fun watch, but it's kind of a fun watch. You can't help but laugh at some of those kills in that one. It had some good kills in that one. And if anybody's watching this, don't know, it's horror movies, it's entertainment. Yeah, part eight just, it absolutely sucked. I just, ugh, just did not like it. Didn't care for it at all. Oh, yeah. You can't forget Jason versus or Freddy versus Jason. That was a fun watch. Well, I mean, it is a horror movie. You don't watch horror movies for the acting. None of these horror movies going well. Yeah, you don't wa- you don't expect. Okay, just like you don't expect a 5-star match from the gangsters, you're not going. You please don't tell me you're going to expect a Oscar-winning performances in any, especially 80s slasher movies. Yeah, the Jason remake was pretty good. Yeah, because I remember the first time I watched Supernatural, and I'd seen the guy who played Sam Winchester. I'm like, he looks familiar. He looks familiar. What the hell have I ever seen him on? Then I looked it up, and he was the brother looking for his sister in the Friday the 13th remake. And I guess they're gonna have a Crystal Lake series come out pretty soon. Should be coming out soon, maybe. Let me fire up the Google machine here. Oh, so this, yeah, Camp Crystal Lake will be on the Peacock, and still no release date. Sometime soon. The series is expected to premiere in 2026 on the Peacock in the United States and will air on Sky UK and stream on Now in the United Kingdom and Ireland. Oh, it's going to have a Linda Cardellini as Pamela Voorhees. That's gonna be interesting. She was in the movie. She played Daphne in the Scooby Doo movies. Um, I mean, not Daphne. She played Velma in the Scooby Doo movies. Played Samantha, the love interest in Grandma's Boy. Also, of course, plays Sarah in the Daddy's Home movies. Laura Barton, of course, in the Avengers movies and TV shows. So yeah, she'll be playing Pamela Voorhees in Crystal Lake. Mm, yeah, I'll give it a try. Because I do remember watching Bates Motel, a few episodes of that. It was okay. I just didn't really sit down and really watch it. So, and it's nothing I just was like, oh, let me go back and watch Bates Motel. But it's supposed to premiere sometime this year. Just don't know when. Yeah, I never seen the fan made independent ones. Oh, cool. Yeah, sometimes I wish they just keep the same actor if they gonna keep using a character. But I'm pretty sure Corey Feldman was like, "Oh, I'm a big star now. I ain't doing no fucking." Oh, nice. Anyways, but she did she die in two? Now I will admit, the first Friday 13th movie I did see was 2, because that came on HBO, and one of those times we actually had HBO. Oh, it came. Okay, cool. Might check those out one day. Damn, I kind of want to watch one now. See, I should think I might try this one, maybe next year. I don't know. I doubt if my boss will let me. That'll be a stretch. Tell my boss, it's like, look, every Friday the 13th during the year, I need to take off those days. Because there's only, what, one or two a year or something like that. Just so I can binge watch. Because I kind of, I've kind of put some little bit of thought in this as well. I mean, I guess you can put, should we really watch the New Line Cinema Jason movies, since they're kind of, one's got the whole um body swapping thing, whatever, and the one's in space. And when a slasher movie goes to space, that's usually a death knell in a series. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't make a Freddy Goes to Space. Causing aliens from Mars to get, nightmares. But hey, I just gave them a new idea. That's how they'll relaunch the Nightmare on Elm Street series. Freddy Goes to Space. E.T. Bad Dream. E.T. Bad Dream. Yes, I've actually seen that. Man, it is that one, and uh the Nightmare on Elm Street one. They were freaking long freaking documentaries. It took me a couple times to finish it. I think it was that long, because I think I started like some afternoon I didn't have anything to do that night, or some Saturday afternoon I didn't have anything to do that night, or whatever, or that afternoon, and I think I fell asleep. Then I had to try to find out where, I had to find a spot where I fell asleep at, and uh, I'm trying to think. I know I got a Blu-ray. I have a Blu-ray set of the Friday the 13th movies, but um, it's just 1 through 8, the Paramount canon. Not, gotta remember now. Now the Friday or the Nightmare on Elm Street, I got the Blu-ray set as well. But I think it has every one of them, including the remake. But the Blu-ray set I got of Friday 13th, I think it's just 1 through 8. I don't think it can. I think I watched the documentary on YouTube. I want to say that's how I watched it. Um, and it was a lot, or was it? I don't think it was on Netflix. I think it was YouTube. It was on. But yeah, like I said, I kind of fell asleep in the middle of it. Then I had to go back, find out where I passed out on, and watch the rest of it. But it was good. I never did see the one on Halloween though. So yeah, I haven't seen the one on Halloween. And for me, Halloween, the first two was good. Now I did rewatch a few years ago. I did rewatch Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, and I have a new opinion of it because I used to hate that one too. And the reason I hate it, like a lot of people hate it, it didn't have Mike Myers in it or Michael Myers in it. Had nothing to do with the actual Halloween. But but my new opinion was like, after I watched it again and really watched it, I was like, it really wasn't that bad. It really wasn't. If they just dropped the Halloween 3 title in it and just called it Season of the Witch or whatever, it it kind of stands on its own. The remake. Now I did like the first remake of Halloween with Rob Zombie that did it. Like that one, but I didn't like the second Rob Zombie movie. It looked way too much like one of his music videos. Um, Now the relaunch or whatever, the one with Jamie Lee Curtis and all that. Like the first one. The second one was like, eh. Yeah, as an '80s horror movie, it was good. But as far as the original, like, I don't know, I did like. I thought hmm, H2O wouldn't do bad. Um, Now I remember watching Resurrection in the theater. And at the time, I think it was too, but it's one of those I never did go back and rewatch it. 4 I've rewatched, 5 I've rewatched. 4, 5, and 6 I thought were pretty good. And that's how usually when I do if I do watch the Halloween movies, it's usually 1, 2, skip 3, then 4, 5, and 6. And I think I usually just kind of skip H2O and see, yeah, at that, like I said, at that time when I watched it in theaters, I thought it was pretty decent. But I can honestly say I never did go back and rewatch it. I don't own any, yeah, I never owned the physical media of that DVD, Blu-ray, or anything like that. I think I still got H2O on DVD. But like I said, I usually skip H2O anyway. I usually do 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6 because I like the Halloween series, but it wasn't like my favorite. I like Jason, Freddy. Uh, Hellraiser. I mean, I think 1, 2, and 3. One first Hellraiser was awesome. I thought. least the first two I thought were pretty good. Um, oh, okay. You remember the like the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, the one that had the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket. I think he was in. Who was it? I don't want to say Michael Bayers. I can't remember who done it. Okay, never watched that one. Yeah, I think didn't that one have like Jessica Biel or something like that, or who are the chick from the one TV show, Family Show, whatever, the hot daughter. Yeah, Michael Bay. Michael Bay. Okay. Um, never watched that one. Then go back and watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Simply because if you watch that one, then go back and watch the original one. The original one looks like a comedy. I swear, I did that. I um I can't remember. Think me and whoever else staying at the time went and seen it in theater. Then went to Best Buy and bought the first three. Uh, the first one, the second one, and the third one. Um, Pardon my language, folks. When you're talking about I think it was three. You guys, every time you mention three, you guys sing this song. It's a rule. I think it's three, but you guys sing the song. Yes, I promise I won't sing, but I'm gonna sing for you folks. Here we go. Hold on a second. Let me, because this is a classic song. This is a classic song here. Here we go. That stupid motherfucker better not fuck with me. Nobody better fuck with me. Stupid motherfucker, don't you fuck with me. Yeah, that's the song. You stupid motherfucker, don't you fuck with me. So yes, okay, if you're in a crowded room and they say, "Oh yeah, we love horror movies and stuff like that, especially those classics." If you sing that song or that part of the song and people don't pop, don't hang out with the people who pop when you say that part. It's kind of like the 2000 Maniac song. I can't do that one. And the sound's gonna rise again. Yeehaw! He let out this rebel yell. See, told you. Um, there was this free. I forgot what it's called. It's free. It's kind of like Tubi, but it's just horror movies. Um, I forgot the name of it. But they had. Okay, you remember they did a remake with Robert Englund, 2001 Maniacs? Then I think they did like a sequel to that one. Eh, the free one had that one on it. I got it, but I haven't watched it yet. but I can't remember the. It's like a totally, like I said, totally free thing. I think the reason I didn't watch it because I realized it had commercials, and yes, I've said plenty of times I cannot stand watching a movie and trying to go through commercials. I can do it if I need background noise when I go to sleep. I'll play Tubi or something like that, and I'm falling asleep anyway. I don't give a shit. But yes, it had Robert England came back and Travis Tritt because I think he was I seen his name and all the people that starred. Yeah, the remake, the 2001 Maniacs with Robert England was pretty good. What was another one? I seen one during last October that was pretty. There's one called Demonic or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. I watched. There was another one. I forgot the name of it. It's pretty. It's low budget and everything, but it's it's pretty wicked. I can't think of the name of it. Basically, this psychologist go or has to interview a soon to be executed prisoner and see if he's crazy or not, and it's kind of trippy. Can't think of the name of it. The dialogue, I mean, that's one of those. The dialogue in that movie just hits. Um, I was I can honestly say I wasn't like a huge. Okay, I wasn't like a huge like Chucky and do Child's Play or whatever. I wasn't that big into it. I mean, it's one of those I liked them, but I never did kind of like go out of my way to watch them. What's the name of that damn movie? See if I can find it. Da, 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 da. Oh, Nefarious, I think it's called. Hey, I think you can watch it on YouTube. But the dialogue in that movie is that's what kind of won me over. It's kind of like a little psychological whatever. But anyway, I mean, I liked it. there's reasons some people did not like it, but not going into that. But I thought the dialogue was really good in it. But kind of dig, kind of. I mean, I like the Conjuring movies. I like the original Exorcist movie and the third one. I tried to watch the Exorcist TV show. It was okay, but I didn't watch the full season. Don't think I know the new Exorcist movie that came out with Russell Crowe. I did not watch. One that some YouTuber I kind of um a guy reviews movies. I seen his take on it, and he's usually pretty right about things. And he said it was god awful. And that's after I was like, he's just a critic. I I forgot I can't really name which movies it was, but I see him on there one time. I can't remember his name or anything, but um he reviewed a movie and he said, "Oh, this is god awful." It's like, come on, this one's got I can't remember the name of it, but it's got to be all right. Fuck critics, they're always wrong. I watched it and dude was right. It was got he like two or three movies like in a row. He said one a couple of them were like god awful and he said one of them was all right. Like I said, I can't think. It's been a couple of years ago. Oh, it was uh the second Doctor Strange movie, the multi universe of madness or something like that. He said it was god awful. I was like, nah, this it's gotta be good. It's gotta be good. Then I watched it and it was horrible. I mean, I was even that's one of those movies I sat there and like sat through. It's like you trying to like it, trying to like it, trying to like it, but it did. Especially that scene where Sc- Scarlet Witch kind of eliminates Charles Xavier, the guy who should have been Reed Richards, and all them. It's like that scene was like, okay, come on, yeah, he's right. This movie fucking sucks. You're not missing anything. Not missing anything. That's when the Marvel universe, the movies, the TV shows were just. Uh, Now the last Spider-Man, uh the Home to Nowhere, whatever it was, the one after Endgame, that was pretty decent. And a new Spider-Man's coming out this year. A new Avengers movie's coming out, Doomsday. I don't know. That almost sounds like a train wreck. No, yeah, No Way Home. No Way Home. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Had all the other Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. The Andrew Garfield Spider-Mans I didn't like at all. Again, is one of those movies you're trying to like it, even though you're like, oh my gosh, I hate when things become a hit and a trend and it kind of bleeds over to other stuff like the Twilight thing and the emu shit. It's like, gosh, did not need this. Again, it's one of those try to like it, but couldn't do it. And I haven't even tried to watch the new Superman yet. When everybody says that one sucks. Don't matter anything. Everybody's. Well, I mean everybody. I mean like normal people, not YouTubers or movie critics or anything like that. I'm just talking about normal, everyday people. And they were like, "This freaking sucked." So much promise. Got a guy in there who could play a good Lex Luthor, but totally wasted. This is what I heard. So I haven't. And one of the few friends that did see it was one of the few people that said the gray sucked. And usually if you got a friend and you remember when the gray came out with Liam Neeson about the wolves and everything, or the coyote, whatever it was, and people, if you can remember during that time where people were like, "Oh, this movie's great," do not take their word on movies, because that movie was totally overrated, totally sucked. It was bad. It was bad, man. It was bad. I'm telling you, it was bad. Yes, I did see that. I hopped on it by accident. Uh, so when I got I call I said kid. I can call him a kid because yeah, I can call him that because yeah, he when I first started with the company, he was 3. Now he works there, but he came up to me one day when a few times I did go around the office. Came up to me, he's like, "Have you ever heard this thing called Faces of Death?" I was like, "Yeah, from like 1978, 79." He was like, "Huh?" It's like, "Yeah." So I pulled out my phone, had to go outside, of course, and try to get on YouTube. So, oh yeah, yeah, that's right. It's like really old. It's like, yeah, here it is right here. They had like 4 or 5 of them. Is it? Oh, but then when I scroll down, uh, by the way, believe it or not, you can watch the original Faces of Death on YouTube, or put in a search engine, and it's there. But anyway, uh, it's funny what you can find on YouTube. But anyway, I hope I didn't get that person in trouble. But anyway, I seen they have a trailer for it. I haven't watched the trailer for it. You just reminded me of it. I want to check out the trailer now. But I'm like, what? They gonna have a new Faces of Death? I don't know how they gonna do that. In case you don't know, the original Faces of Death was supposed to be this actual footage of people and things. But come to find out, some of those things were like reenactments or made up and all that good shit. Few of the stuff was some from like newsreels and things like that, but the rest of them was a lot of them was made up. Cause I think what was it 4? I think it was 4. If you try to rewatch it now, you can sit down and look at it and go, yeah, yeah, this is this is ain't this no this was um makeup, everything, not actual footage. But they were they were wicked. They were wicked. But it's like they're trying to sell it off as like a doc. I don't know how they're gonna do the new one. Like I said, I haven't seen the trailer yet. But they try to sell it off as like this documentary and stuff like that. This doctor's trying to, you know, really study death, and by examining this footage and stuff like that. But it's pretty. It was supposedly banned. I think the UK had this video nasty list. I don't know if it's America. Every time I hear the word video nasty is usually followed by the UK. The UK had a video or the England had a video nasty list, and it was on their. This was on their list, but yeah, it was on their video nasty list. It was banned. But yeah, that movie. But yes, you can find it on YouTube though. I think it's uncut, uncensored, unwashed, ready to go. But folks, I would love to sit here and keep talking about horror movies. But remember earlier when I was talking about Father Time and being hungry? Well, that's what's happening now. Father Time is like, hey, it's time to eat, then time to go to bed. So appreciate everybody tuning in. Hopefully everybody had a good time. If you didn't join me in the chat here, if you watch this on the replay, hit me up in the comments. I should be open now because I realized last night that I had the comments off for some reason. But I think the comments are on for this. So comment away. I think all my videos should be, because I've had comments on a few of my stuff and a few of my things, and they all work. If something happens and the comments ain't working, just hit me up in another video and say, hey, your replay for this or this video didn't have comments, so, and I'll go in and fix it. They all should be open. Like I said, I don't know how this spot show live stream comments got. I mean, when I say that, I'm an idiot sometimes. Maybe I pushed the wrong thing or something like that. But anyway, the comments are are on, so comment away. So yeah, hit me up in the comments if you watch the replay. Other than that, you folks have a good weekend. Be safe. Have a good one. Take it easy. And till next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.